to escape the police. The small-time thug threw the stolen wallet into the sewer. This scene was coincidentally seen by Kevin passing by. That evening, he gathered all his gear and found Max. The two friends went together to the sewer from earlier that day. They planned to return the lost wallet to its owner. Kevin took out a rope he had prepared in advance. He tied one end, which was attached to a shoe, to an advertising stand. Then he used a metal weight on the other end to secure the manhole cover. He wrapped the shoe end around the elevator ladder. With a gentle pull on the ladder, the manhole cover opened easily. Max looked at Kevin in disbelief. He did not expect Kevin to use the force reaction so skillfully. Max climbed down the ladder into the sewer. He successfully retrieved the lost wallet. As they opened the wallet to check the information, a dagger cut the rope. The manhole cover instantly snapped back into place. A group of thugs appeared in front of them. It turned out they had been lying in wait. Max, a bit timid, urged Kevin to hand over the wallet quickly. But Kevin believed a knight must fight for justice. He climbed up the elevator ladder holding the wallet. The thugs pulled out chains, preparing to teach Kevin a lesson. As the chains swung back and forth, Max suddenly erupted. He grabbed the manhole cover with all his strength and easily blocked the chains. A nearby thug frantically swung his baseball bat. At this moment, Max seemed to truly become a knight. The manhole cover once again blocked the enemy's attack. Then Max threw the manhole cover to the side. The thugs were frightened and fled. The two friends left this place of trouble. The next day, they followed the wallet's address to a rundown apartment. They wanted to return the wallet to its owner. Unexpectedly, the woman inside knew Max. Max felt timid and wanted to leave, but the woman locked the door from inside. Her husband had once been a close friend of Max's father, and he knew all the crimes Max's father had committed. The woman felt pity for Max's situation. Hearing about the past again, Max became emotional. He yanked open the locked door and left quickly, leaving Kevin behind. Max was a little angry. He blamed Kevin for always causing him trouble. Life had been at least somewhat better before he met Kevin. But since meeting Kevin, things had gotten worse. Seeing Max upset, Kevin decided to share his story. Kevin's father was a magician, but when he heard Kevin was born with a congenital defect, his father immediately left Kevin and his mother. Kevin did not care about these things. He knew his father's character did not define him. He was never his father's shadow. He picked up a worn aluminum basin from the ground and said to Max, reflected in the basin, "This is the real you. You are different from that sinful man, and a knight must prove his value through action." The two visited a knight museum. Kevin used the king's holy sword to knight them both. He named himself Freak, and Max the Universal One. From that day on, they never mentioned their fathers again, because they would not become like their fathers. At school they held their heads high with confidence. Even in basketball they worked as one. Amid cheers from the cheerleaders, they defeated their opponents and also conquered themselves. Finally, they became the normal kids in the eyes of their classmates. They no longer submitted to anyone. Not long after, Grandma received a letter from prison. Max's father had just been granted parole. Grandpa became emotional upon hearing the news. Although the court promised he would not approach Max, Grandpa did not trust the court's promise. Grandma said even though their daughter had died, her smile still lived on in Max. He would not allow hatred to poison the home. Max, upon hearing the news, was already deeply saddened. The next day at dinner, Kevin made all sorts of funny faces, making the classmates burst into laughter. But because he ate too quickly, he choked and passed out. This was a symptom of Morquio syndrome. Max immediately rushed Kevin to the hospital. Because of timely treatment, Kevin temporarily survived. But the doctor told his mother that due to Kevin's degenerative condition, he had airway obstruction. He could not get enough oxygen to maintain blood circulation. In this case, Kevin had at most 1 year to live. His mother went to the vending machine for a cup of hot milk, but the machine malfunctioned. Already holding back her grief, she could not hold it in anymore.
He's gonna be alright. He's gonna be alright. He's gonna be alright.
Kevin stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, Max finally brought him home. The days without Kevin were perhaps the hardest 2 weeks for Max. Due to his serious condition, Kevin could no longer attend school, but occasionally, he would sneak out with Max. However, Max never let Kevin go alone. They went to an old factory. Kevin told Max a secret and asked him to swear by the honor of a knight never to tell anyone. Inside this factory was a laboratory, specializing in designing replaceable tissues for the human body. Soon, Kevin would enter the lab to receive a completely new body. He would become the first artificially evolved human. On Christmas Eve night, Max was asleep, when suddenly a man appeared beside his bed.